Hey, what's going on, everybody? Yoshi the Oreo here. So, I want to go ahead and make this one quick short video. And before we actually get into it, I want to go ahead and start off with this. I am not a perfect person. I will make mistakes. And when I do make those mistakes, I will own up to those mistakes. And one of those mistakes is subscribing to an individual that I admired in terms of his videos, but do not admire in terms of his live streams. Now, don't get me wrong here. I'm not judging him as a character as a whole because, well, he does say a lot of truths in terms of his videos, in terms of how the black community is falling apart, is dilapidating, and it doesn't necessarily have any leaders because, well, I agree with him on a lot of those sentiments. We're the only racial demographic in America where our athletes or our trumpet players or our celebrities are considered leaders. And that says something. So on that note, I do agree with them on that. However, on another note, one thing I do not agree with them on in terms of his analysis on his channel is his goose stomping against Israel. Now, don't get me wrong, there are legitimate reasons as to some people don't want to support Israel without falling into the white identitarian form of anti-Semitism. I mean, most people have already come to the conclusion that, you know, the whole Palestine and Israel thing is not gonna, there's no peaceful conflict. Like, just let these mother kill each other and whoever wins just wins. I can understand that, and I can understand from a ANCAP perspective of just criticizing governments in general because, well, the job of an ANCAP is to just criticize governments. However, in some cases, it can get to a point to where some people's criticisms can often skew into more of a hateful kind of rhetoric, like we just want to see you die, we just want to see you fail kind of thing. Or they'll just grab onto the most wildest conspiracy theories and think it's true because they looked at the facts of the matter, such as like the dancing Israelis, and make the claim that just because they were dancing during 9/11, that means they were behind the attack, which is retarded because we clearly have the identification of the pilots who were using the planes to attack the towers, and they were all Muslim. These are the same people that would look at the leftists that killed Charlie Kirk and say, no, it wasn't some white person that killed Charlie Kirk. That can't happen. It was Netanyahu who digged the tunnel underneath Charlie's tent and shot him in the neck from underground. I don't know how that works, but just believe me, Jewish magic or some shit, you know. Now, who am I talking about specifically? I'm talking about a YouTube channel under the name of Andre Williams, which I can tell you much by his live streams. I don't think this guy really knows his history, like, at all. Imagine making the claim that you know your history while at the same time beating up on a group of people that if you view under the racial hierarchy chart, you think you're above them when in actuality, under the racial hierarchy chart, you're in the same category as them. I cannot tell you how many people I can honestly count on the top of my head that can put black people and Jewish people into the same category of as inferior race. You know, like Adolf Hitler, Karl Marx, John Locke, Hegel. I mean, that's just to name a few. I mean, if you view it through that lens, the hatred of the Jew is honestly the extension and the hatred of you. Now, am I saying to go around and hook up on every Jew just because, you know, the racial hierarchy chart? No, I'm not saying that because obviously there are some Jews out there or people who claim to be Jews and they don't really hold the Jewish faith who are clear examples of people that just, well, they just need to be stopped and they're obviously bad people. I mean, obviously Jeffrey Epstein is a perfect example. I mean, he kind of killed, he didn't kill himself, but, you know, he killed himself. Wink, wink. And what I recommend to get out of this funk of accusing every single person that falls under a racial demographic is to just basically, I don't know, talk to people in that racial demographic. Specifically people who are not talking heads of, like, you know, political commentary or such. You know, diversify your perspective and whatnot. Now, I know not to attack people like you who speak in a very dialectical way because, let's face it, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys actually learned a lot from BLM and how to actually garner an audience without necessarily having to explain your position. your true position, because that's the whole reason people like you get behind the whole black issue. You don't really care. You just use it as a defensive shield in order for you to push anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. That way, when people attack you, you're like, what? No, I'm not being evil. I'm not being anti-Semitic. Matter of fact, what is anti-Semitism? What is racism? No one even knows what that is anymore. I'm just here to help the black community get back on their feet. Which on the surface and in terms of your presentation and your videos, it can appear to be a fact because it's a half-truth. Wrong button. The lie that diminishes that truth is the fact that you're attacking a group of people under the racial hierarchy are in the same category as us. Therefore, you're not really trying to help anybody but yourself. Because you don't see yourself in the same category as us, you see yourself in a higher category than us. But the people you're bucking with don't see you in the same category that they see themselves. They see you exactly where the hell you belong. At the bottom. At the entrance of their utopia as a guard dog, making sure to keep the riffraff out. So I had one guy in my short video addressing Andre Williams. He left a comment on that short video talking about, oh, why are you stop policing? Why are you stop policing? Why are you stop policing? We don't like stop policing. Only for me to leave him with a very colorful comment. Yeah. It's like no matter where I go, whether it be on the left or the right, man, like black folks are always marching with the enemies, marching with motherfuckers that don't want you there to begin with, and yet somehow you think just because you repeat all their talking points, somehow you're above everybody else, and they'll let you in. Integration was a trap. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Leave a like, leave a dislike, leave a comment. Matter of fact, leave a comment. I am so tired of people watching my videos and not leaving a comment. Leave a comment. I want to know what you guys think when I make these videos. Come on. Likes are just not enough, man. I need more than that. Until then, guys, take care, be safe, and God bless.